It's the SKOR North Twins Show. Baseball.
All right, SKOR North Twins Show, right here on the SKOR North Twins Show YouTube channel and podcast feed. We don't have any Sounders yet, but we do latest Vikings news. We do latest Wolves news. Might need to cut up some latest Twins news with maybe like the Minnesota Twins win song as it fades in and out or something underneath it. So
I mean, there's a bunch of different ways we could go. We'll workshop some stuff.
yeah.
We'll workshop.
Anybody got any Twins news? You know, we can.
I love Twins news. I love doom scrolling Twins Twitter.
I was going to say, I don't know
Who's injured now? It's gonna
I don't
be
know
great.
that I love Twins news is nearly as appropriate for this ball club as it is for like the Vikings or Timberwolves.
I'm guarding against Twins news.
Anybody got any injury news? Yeah.
Have you sold the Twins yet?
Anybody got any
actually,
ownership news?
That might be a little segue there into
Perfect segue. Look at that. So yeah, let's start here. We'll touch on the Rays sale, maybe what it means for the Twins, some trade candidates, plus a random Twin of the Week from our guy Phil. So strap in, hit the like button and the subscribe button here on the SKOR North Twins Show. So yesterday, boys, it was reported that the Tampa Bay Rays are in advanced talks of a $1.7 billion deal that would potentially keep the team in Tampa Bay. So the Twins, who are also seeking a similar price of 1.7, the Baltimore Orioles, a little over a year ago, they sold for 1.725, so just a little bit north of this. I guess, what are your initial thoughts when you see a team like Tampa, who, by the way, according to like Sportico, is one of the least valuable franchises in Major League Baseball, and honestly, in all the professional sports? What is your first gut instinct when you see a $1.7 billion sale to Tampa and the Twins are sitting over here with a shrug emoji of, well, where's our $1.7 billion?
I don't see. So explain this now. Unless the
That's a
Pohalds-
locksmith upstairs.
Declan has a locksmith in his house right now.
Oh, he's coming in. Oh, wow.
Hold on.
That's
Can
great.
you actually just unmute? I just want to hear what this sounds like.
See, well,
It's going to be sporadic.
Okay.
it's going to be very special.
Is he like, so he's like, he sounds like he was sawing something,
Drilling.
or is he's drilling something?
Drilling.
Drill.
Yeah. So it's going to come and go.
Yeah, new deadbolts on all three doors after a recent incident. So, new deadbolts.
All three?
And
Oh,
handles.
you're going all three.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, okay. Back to the question. So the question. Now, I would say that this is an annoyance, except for the fact that all three of our dogs have melted down mid-show before. Speaking of, where is the Vinster?
He's probably either helping him or with mom. One of the two.
Oh,
Okay,
so he's okay.
Hey, what are you doing?
But he's being quiet,
strangers.
so like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like because this can set a dog off too. So, unless the Pohalds debt situation, and I'm not going to claim to be an expert on like debt and what it means and what it can do to a potential sale, but unless that debt situation is so dire and I'm missing it, I don't understand how a team that is in a city or in a state, I guess, where it can't get a stadium and plays right now in a minor league ballpark because their current ballpark had its roof torn off, but they desperately want out of that stadium. How can that thing sell for $1.7 billion? But the Twins, with, by the way, a still gorgeous 15-year-old stadium, and a situation that to me personally, now baseball-wise, not the case, but just personally business-wise, seems far more stabilized than the Tampa Bay Rays. I am completely dumbfounded how you couldn't get the same price from either someone inside or outside the state if the Rays are indeed going to sell for $1.7 billion.
It feels to me like whatever this group is that has opted in to buy the Rays, they've like overpaid for a fixer-upper home. And I'm also not going to pretend to be an expert on the exact nuances of whether they're actually worth 1.7 billion or 1.3 billion.
Right.
But to your point about just like the history of the franchise, Judd, this is traditionally one of, if not the lowest revenue teams in baseball. They can't put fans in that. You talk about like the minor league stadium. They played the minor league stadium with their major league stadium. It was the most sort of rickety, one of the older buildings too. And they've spent the entire year replacing the roof after the hurricane ripped through. But you have a hard time putting fans in the building. You have a hard time getting fans to watch the TV product. Like basically all the levers that you would pull to generate revenue for a baseball team, they've had an impossible time even when they're good, and they consistently outperform their expectation of win totals and the money that they spend. They pay less per win in terms of payroll and salary than pretty much any team in baseball. And still they sell for $1.7 billion, which, to put it into context, the Orioles sold for $1.7 billion in a pretty sizable market. What's funny is the Tampa St. Pete TV market, the measurable TV market, is actually 11th because they include Tampa, St. Pete, and in a pocket of Sarasota. So when you go look through the Nielsen TV markets, New York is number 1, LA is number 2, Chicago, Dallas, Philadelphia, Boston, DC, Atlanta are all in the top 9 or 10. And right outside of that, the Bay Area, so San Francisco is 10. Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota is 11th, 4 or 5 slots above Minneapolis, St. Paul in terms of measurable TV audience. The problem is it's mostly transplants down there. Yeah. There's probably more Yankees fans in Tampa than there are Rays fans.
Yes.
So I guess to bring it all full circle, I don't know what this does for the Twins' valuation, but I can't imagine that they would look at this and say, we should settle for less than $1.7 billion. But is someone going to come in and pay $1.7 billion before a lockout in a year and a half? Or could we see the Pohalds actually continue to own this team for maybe another season? That's my question.
I think there's a very good chance. Yeah. And I'm not sure I'm buying, we talked about this about a month ago or so. So Charlie Walters, shooter in the Pioneer Press, throws out that the Twins, that it's going very slowly. It's not going well. All people have looked at the books. And immediately the Twins leaked, oh, no, that's not true. We got a bunch of folks. And since then, we've heard nothing. Yeah. But the thing about the TV, too, is so the Rays might technically play in a bigger market, but they are equally as screwed long-term as the Twins, right? Because it's not like I believe that they are still on a regional sports network, but they're not in a position where that's going to last. It's not, you don't look at the books and say, oh, you know what? They've got the Rays TV network and it's huge. It's or what the Dodgers have. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is, if you're the Twins, eye-opening. Unless there's something going on with, secret bidder behind the scenes who's going to come through with $1.7 to $1.9 billion or $2 billion. If I'm the Twins, I'm like, whoa. So the Tampa Bay Rays, of all the teams that I could have picked at the beginning of this process and said, you're not going to believe this. If I had picked the Rays, you probably would have said, oh, you're crazy. Ain't no way that the Tampa Bay Rays are going to potentially sell for more than the Twins right now.
Yeah, so this could either be great for the Twins, and all right, cool. We I guess the bar is set. There's been 2 teams that are selling for $1.7 billion that are kind of in the range of market size and circumstances as the Twins, or it could mean that they're going to be waiting for a longer time. That there's a gap between what the Twins might be worth and what with that debt too. That kind of complicates it. It's do you buy it and take on the debt? Is the debt your problem? It can all be negotiated, but it is interesting. Meanwhile, the Lakers just sold for $10 billion. So. There's that.
It's incredible.
I wonder, too, does this actually raise their price? If they're saying, well, the Tampa Bay just went for 1.7, why can't we ask for now 1.8 or 9? Would that, I mean, with a poker if the Tampa Bay's going for this,
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it tries to raise the asking price. Also, to answer Judd's question, I would bet they're still in control by the Pohalds are.
Opening day?
Yeah. Yes.
Opening day 2026.
Yeah.
Pohalds on the team.
I would take that bet over someone else right now.
There's a better chance.
They're actually well, maybe not. They're changing the locks right now.
The locksmith is
Target
going.
Field.
The locksmith is he's headed to Target Field next.
Call the locksmith.
I think at this rate, with what appears to be at least what we know transpiring, I think that there's a better chance that the Twins end up I believe it was the Angels and Nationals, which were on the market and then basically just pulled off and kept. So, because I don't think they can raise the price. I think what we're seeing here, you guys, is a true indicator of, for whatever reason, they're struggling to get $1.7 billion, which to me is a definite concern. So I would not be surprised if not only do the Pohalds own the team on opening day 2026, I would not be surprised if they if the team is pulled off the market entirely, very quietly for a prolonged period of time.
You know what's one last thing on this here? I just went down a Wikipedia rabbit hole. So what they now have are, you know how Forbes comes out with team valuations in each league every year.
Yep.
So they now have like broken out Wikipedia pages for all of the different valuations. So I'm on the MLB one, and they have a new column that is debt percentage. So the percentage of, I'm assuming it's the percentage of the value of the team. Let's see if there's an explanation here. It's got a little marker. It's expressed as a percentage of the valuation of the team that is debt. So it includes like stadium debt if you had to borrow money to build a stadium, which I think that's what happened, right? I guess the Twins debt goes back like 25 years. It goes back way before Target Field. But the Twins are top 5 in debt percentage. So the Miami Marlins, 40% of their $1 billion valuation is debt. The Rangers, 31% debt, 25% Nationals, 23% Royals, and the Twins. So we're top 5 in something.
All right.
It's debt.
Way to go.
Right.
Way to go. I do have a curiosity though. If you're going to buy a baseball team, why would you do it unless you're getting the team way cheaper? Why would you buy the team headed into what almost certainly looks like a lockout?
Well, I mean, I guess if these are like big brain billionaires that understand business trends beyond like the year and a half in front of our faces as we sit here on these microphones,
Sure.
but they might actually look at the lockout as, all right, obviously it's a short-term revenue blip because there's going to be potentially games missed. We don't know. It looks like it's going to be messy because there's some things that players and owners are far apart on right now. So if they could miss a season.
Yes.
But long-term, usually it's the billionaire owners that come out ahead financially whenever there's a lockout. Because like very rarely in history do players stand firm enough to get like a player-altering percentage of the revenue or whatever it may be.
Also, the curveball, though, here. Here's the curveball. This is going to start with owners versus owners. This is going to be the first
big market, small
lockout
market,
where the owners are actually going to start the fighting and then have to go to the players. I think I would prefer to allow it to play out. But, yeah, I mean, you're probably right. None of this explains why the Tampa Rays possibly are going to be sold before the Twins, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see that we're almost a year in. It was like August of last year that the memo came out that the Twins were putting the team up for sale. So we are, I would venture publicly 10 months into the process, but privately, who knows how long before that they were kicking tires.
Mm-hmm. All right, next news item on this list on the SKOR North Twins Show.
Baseball.
So Mark Feinsand of MLB.com listed 14 prime trade candidates and where they might be dealt. So he's got a list of 14 players here. Spoiler alert, no one on the Twins in this list of the 14 players yet. There are 2 names, though, that could be fits for the Twins at the deadline. I want just kind of your guys' quick thoughts on these. So number 1 is Tyler Anderson, starting pitcher with the Angels, a lefty. Gasp, a left-handed starter. This year, Tyler Anderson, 2-4, ERA of 4.44, was a 2-time All-Star, once with the Dodgers in 22, once with the Angels in 2024 last year. Pitched 179 innings last season. He strikes out about 7 per 9. An okay, solid lefty starter would definitely be an upgrade in the current Twins rotation due to the injuries. So that's the first name. The other name is Ryan McCann, also an all-star from the Rockies last year. A guy that has nice pop, but also, plays in Coors Field. That's a team that is 100% selling for obvious reasons. Do any of these names... Now, McMahon also, by the way, is signed for $12 million this year and $16 million in each of the next 2 seasons. Does play third. Obviously they want Royce Lewis to be their future third baseman. Does Tyler Anderson or Ryan McMahon do anything for you when it comes to maybe helping the Twins season out or maybe just being interested in them in general?
Judd, you go first on this. I have a couple takes on this one. You go first.
First of all, Dex, hate to say it, but with the way things are playing out now, I think I'm strongly on the side of selling. I guess I don't believe these blips that come and go. It's not that I wouldn't like to see help as a as a person, as a fan who watches the team every day, but I don't think that it would help that much. I think your team is just struggling through lots of things, including in their defense a little bit. This last 6-game skid, also injuries galore. So no, both of them don't. The pitcher I believe is 35 years
Tyler
old.
Anderson.
Yeah, I'm not sending at this point in time. If I would guess that the Rockies are, I mean, who knows? They are just a bleeping mess. But I would guess they're prospect collecting. I'm not going to send prospects of top 10, top 15 at this point because it's not going to help me. And why give away something for what looks like, unfortunately, a lost season? So, long story short, no. But I do think that as the deadline approaches next month, it will be fun to talk about who they could potentially sell.
So, okay, let's start with Ryan McMahon here. He's been one of the best defensive third basemen in the league for a number of years. So, if you're interested in helping your pitching that's dropped off because of injuries, Bailey Ober, it looked like Bailey Ober might have actually found a little something there in the middle innings last night, but Ryan McMahon as a hitter away from Coors Field is a disaster. So I want to lay this out here. This is where you got to be real careful looking at Colorado Rockies hitters. So he's been with the Rockies for, my God, like what, 8 or 9 years? I mean, he's been there for a minute.
Yeah. Long time.
So there's enough sample size here. When Ryan McMahon hits at Coors Field, he has an 824 OPS, which is like well above average, very solid hitter, especially when you combine that with great defense at third. That's like a cornerstone player. The home OPS plus the defense. When he hits away from Coors Field, that OPS for his career drops by 160 points. So Ryan McMahon, not at Coors Field, a 215 hitter with a 302 on base and a 363 slugging percentage. So he would literally be one of your worst hitters if the away from Coors Field stuff translated to Target Field and other non-Coors Field stadiums that you would be hitting in the rest of the year. And it's like, okay, when does Royce Lewis come back? Because if he's going to play third again, and I want Brooks Lee out there, Carlos Correa is not going anywhere. So it's like, okay, you're not DHing Ryan McMahon. He would be there for his glove. So I guess, are you DHing Royce Lewis or Brooks Lee? It just seems, I don't know. If you could guarantee me that I got the Coors Field bat of Ryan McMahon, now we're cooking and we can figure this thing out. So that's my Ryan McMahon take. On Tyler Anderson, he'd be better than like two of the starters you're running out there right now in your rotation. He's not, if you do get to the playoffs, I would be pretty surprised if Tyler Anderson was in your playoff rotation, maybe like your fourth guy that you could skip once in a while. So I'm not giving up anything of meaningful substance prospect-wise for either one of these guys. But I'd be open, like if they're just trying to dump players, okay, I guess we can talk.
Yeah, doesn't do anything for me. And I with the way things are trending, you are more likely to be a seller and not really a buyer right now. We'll see what this is a baseball season with streaks, so it's 100% possible the Twins dig themselves out. But Tyler Anderson, Ryan McMahon aren't even like, okay, let's say the Twins were in position where they were 7 games over 500 and they're firmly in the wild card mix. I'm not even looking at Ryan McMahon and Tyler Anderson as guys that are helping me push myself over the top. Those guys are at the floor of what I need, right? Those guys aren't even in the floor. You want someone else that adds with significant value that will push you into being a championship contender. So even if you were a buyer and you were a good team, I don't think either of those names would do anything for me.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like you could use. I'll defend the Tyler Anderson thing if they're just kind of punting on Tyler Anderson because this is a contract year for him, and you'd have to take on some of that money. Which, I mean, I think it's like $13 million or something. Prorated, it would be $7 million. Would the Pohalds green light even like $4 million of that $7 million for the second half of the season for a non-needle moving player when they're,
I doubt it,
dealing with their current situation, trying to sell this team? So I don't know, but if they would pick up some of the tab and you could give up something outside of your top 20 prospects, he does give you a professional starting pitcher that you lack right now in your rotation. So no.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I am. I think that the amount of guys that you could potentially sell on is going to be a far more intriguing discussion. And you know what? Unfortunately, for a multitude of reasons, it just feels like one of those years right now too. It just feels like one of those years where it's like, don't force it. Don't force it. Like now, like the first in April, it was just a disaster, terrible play. But now it's combined with who's out. And I'm not convinced. Like you could tell me Pablo Lopez might be back in September, but I mean, we don't know that for sure. We don't know when he's back. And we certainly don't know if and when he comes back, what he's going to be like. And that pitching staff now with the Pablo chip removed from it, I mean, come on, and Bailey, he did look better as the game progressed, but I've still got concerns there, and I'm still not convinced that something's not off as well or just wrong. Carlos Correa is talking about, I'm trying to walk now just to get myself back on track, and he did a couple of times last night. Just a lot of things that lead me to believe that a trade to get a chip is not going to exactly help you out.
Not at all. Hey, you can stay at the Element Hotel. That's a good chip. When you go to scorenorth.com/element, you get a 15% off a room rate there. So it's just steps away from Target Field. So whether you're coming into town for a Twins game or you're just trying to enjoy a nice weekend in North Loop, whether you're in town, out of town, staycation, doesn't matter. Go check out Element Hotel in the North Loop, just steps away. Again, use scorenorth.com/element for a 15% room rate. Judd, tell us about Stoked.
It is barbecue season. Ladies and gentlemen, Sports Dad here to tell you that, yes, it's getting warm outside. It's getting gorgeous. And we got those summer nights where you say, you know what, let's barbecue. And that means that you want to barbecue with Stoked Barbecue Pellets, a company based and operated right here in our great state. What am I talking about? 50-count fire starter buckets, 4-count fire starter bags, a barbecue caddy. If you're a grill master, the barbecue caddy is an absolute must. This is Stoked solid oak firewood, perfect for your tabletop stove. Easy to use 5-inch pieces, will burn for 3+ hours. Check them out. You can find Stoked products at Fratelloni Hardware and Garden Stores, and also check out StokedBBQ.com to find their dealer locator elsewhere. But check Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores for Stoked barbecue pellets. It is barbecue season, and Stoked is the go-to for that.
Baseball.
All right, random twin of the week time. Phil will give out the clues. Last week we had Ruben Sierra, which Judd Nadu was his first win in quite some time. Before that we had Terry Steinbeck, Lou Ford, Jim Thome, Renee Tassoni, Brian Harper, Harmon Killebrew. So Judd went a little bit there without his wins, without a win. Phil has 33 wins. Judd has 28 wins. I have 25 wins. Phil has the clues. We are not Googling. We are not cheating. Here we go.
That's right. People think that there's shenanigans going on these random Vikings random twins. No shenanigans. So, okay, random twin of the week. This random twin, you can control F search like the previous.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to get that. Yep. I'm going to get that up in my...
Because we've done like 80 of these now, so there's a lot of twins off the board.
Okay.
This random twin was a multi-sport athlete in high school. So his football team won back-to-back state championships when he was in high school. And during his senior season, he was a running back, and he rushed for 2,500 yards on 326 carries. Wow. Bell cow.
Wow.
Bell cow high school running back.
Sounds like Toby Gerhart.
Is that an official guess?
No, since he didn't play for the Twins. No, it's not.
Maybe it was Toby Gardenhire. This random twin had 3 career Major League Baseball home runs.
Boy, so he peaked in high school is what you're telling us.
Well, he definitely peaked in football in high school. Okay. This random twin, his worst season as a twin was exactly replacement level. So his WAR was 0. That was his worst season as a twin.
3 career home runs. Okay.
This random twin has virtually no internet footprint that I can find anyways. Outside of like Baseball Reference, and he does have a Wikipedia page, but I couldn't find any social media. I couldn't find any, you know how sometimes you'll look for a player, maybe they aren't on social, but there's like an article from their local newspaper highlighting or whatever, like something. Yeah. Or he's on a podcast somewhere. And for the life of me, I couldn't find really anything meaningful.
Okay.
Which was interesting.
Hunting and fishing, probably.
I guess.
All right.
This random twin played in 3 career playoff games, all with the Twins.
A lot of eras there. A lot of eras now.
You know, I take that back. There was one update on the internet that I will give you a clue on. There was literally like one thing that I found that will be helpful to you.
Okay.
And I'll give it to you in a minute here, but let's go with this one next. So 3 career home runs. His first career RBI came against Gil Mesh. Gil Mesh. Do you guys remember Gil Mesh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mariners, Royals.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is where my ref guest comes. This is where I'm, drunk on Friday night. Gil Mesh. I'm just yelling, yelling out pictures.
So now we've got an era.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, all-star Gil Mesh. I don't know. I don't think the hit came during the All-Star year, but
he had a couple of innings where he shoved. Okay. He was reshoved. A lot of innings. Innings eater, Gil Mesh.
So now we've got an era. Okay.
3 career.
When you go on eBay, you can buy this random Twins unsigned 8x10 photo for $4.99 right now.
What?
Yeah. Now
$4.99 for unsigned, and he's got 3 career home runs.
Yeah, if he signed it, maybe I don't know if the value would go up or down.
What's his wife gonna buy it?
Here's the only update on the internet other than like his baseball career that I could find. It's from 2014.
Okay.
And it said that this random twin will join the coaching staff of the Williamsport Crosscutters baseball team.
I will take a guess. I don't think the only thing that's tripping me up is the 3,000 whatever yards was in high school football. But I feel like I'm in the right era. Is this Matt Tolbert?
Matt Tolbert is correct.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? God. What a pull!
Matty Tolbert.
Bravo.
Let's go.
Bravo.
Whoa.
That's awesome. Okay, that's a good loss.
I'll be honest, I didn't even control F that. I didn't even double check if we've used Matt Tolbert.
No, that's because you were Googling.
Yeah, that's right.
Matty Tolbert.
Gil Mesh. Who got their first hit off Gil Mesh?
Well, I was at 3 playoff games.
Wow.
I think, didn't he start the last game of 2010, and did he appear in like 2009 in a couple games?
He was his Twins career, and he wound up playing in the minors for a couple teams, but his Twins career was from 2008 through 2011, and he was the definition of a replacement level player.
Oh, yeah.
Just a guy that he had a good, reliable glove. He could play different positions, couldn't really hit a lick, 230 career batting average.
Still.
But, and then the disdain from Trevor Plouffe telling that story the other day.
Also, that was on the mind as well.
He said the only time in his life that he's ever purposefully gotten drunk to cope was because the Twins called up Matt Tolbert instead of him in 2009 or 8, I want to say.
Yeah. Wow. Hilarious.
So congrats to Dex.
Yeah, it's a nice
back
win.
in the win column.
Nice win. I got
old Matty Tolbert.
Okay.
Love it. All right, hit the like button and subscribe button here in the SKOR North Twins Show YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll be talking at you soon.